We normalize behavior online that is deeply concerning if we saw this stuff happen in real life. And because we see it every day online, we kind of stop questioning it. And today I want to talk about 8 things that the internet treats as totally normal when they really aren't. And just because you see it online does not mean it's healthy. Starting with diagnosing people through the screen. One of the weirdest things that the internet has normalized is called armchair psychology. Apps like TikTok and Instagram has made it really easy for people to give their quick takes on things that they find really interesting. But if those takes were about food, fashion, and the latest trends, this video would not exist because those things are harmless. But armchair psychology becomes harmful when strangers are diagnosing other strangers without the proper education, background, or context to do so. Let's say, for example, a creator posts about a 30 seconds to 1 minute video showing off her outfit with her boyfriend. The girlfriend is seemingly excited and talking about the outfit and telling you all where she got those outfits from. But the boyfriend's face is expressionless. He's not really saying much or actually engaging much with the girlfriend. But scroll down to the comments of this seemingly cute video, you'll see things like, oh, he's autistic, he's abusive, he's a narcissist. Another word that people love to throw around a lot these days is gaslighting. People love to use this word when somebody explains something that they don't like or they just don't understand. You'll see comments and people saying things like, don't gaslight me into thinking this is normal behavior, or men love to gaslight women when they can't get their way. Words like narcissist, abusive, gaslighter, those are huge words. Those are clinical terms. They require a lot of context, a lot of training, and a lot of consent from the person that you're making a diagnosis from. I was in therapy for a long time, and one time I asked my therapist what she thought about Trump. Now, she's a hardcore Democrat, this lady. She's a Democrat. She does not like Trump at all. And I asked her, like, oh, do you think that Trump has narcissistic tendencies, or do you think he's a narcissist? And she straight up said, well, first of all, I'm not his doctor. I've never met this man, and I don't know what he is or what he isn't. But I will say that he does display some narcissistic tendencies. And I was like, that's how you say it. She's a medical professional, and even she will not sit there and say that man is a narcissist. He's this, he's this, he's this. What makes this whole thing even worse is that most of the time, people are using these words incorrectly. I am not a psychological mental health expert at all. I am not a doctor, but I can tell you right now, gaslighting is not somebody being wrong or misremembering things. Gaslighting is a systematic manipulation that makes you question your reality over time. This usually takes place between 2 couples. So when your boyfriend says something like, I think I left my phone in the bathroom, can you get it for me? But it was really on the couch. That's not gaslighting. He literally probably forgot that he left it on the couch instead of the bathroom. And your sister or your friend who posts selfies every day on Instagram is not a narcissist with NDP. She probably thinks she's really, really pretty and she loves taking pictures. And the boyfriend with the expressionless face that I mentioned earlier, he's probably not autistic. He might just be very uncomfortable in front of the camera. A lot of the times, these labels that people put on each other online don't really just stay online, because at some point, people will think you are the narcissist one, the one that is an abusive boyfriend, and so on and so forth. Language that is meant to help people understand other people's behaviors is being used way, 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 way too casually for my taste. The internet is punishing, the internet is forever, so we really, really have to be careful with how we use our words, because words mean things. Words are there to be specific about certain situations. We can't just be using them randomly in any situation that we want. We have to get back to a point in our society where we use the correct verbiage for the correct situation. This next one goes hand in hand with armchair psychology a little bit, and it's giving people advice without the expertise. We've normalized giving advice without much of the qualifications that are needed to give such advice in the first place. A few few months ago, I was looking for hosting gigs online and I came across this job post. Expert host, interviewer for a video podcast on wealth and fitness. This post kind of went on to tell you a little bit more about the job itself, but what really got me was the part where they said this. The talent should look like a successful podcast host, a medical expert, or a journalist delivering science-backed information. To make it even worse, it says the talent should speak clearly and sound like they are intelligent authority to the subject. That was a huge red flag to me because they're basically looking for actors to pretend to be experts at a certain subject. I don't know why that is okay. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say that once this podcast airs on whatever podcast network it airs on, I bet you they will not say that this is an actor. They will not say that this person is pretending to be a medical expert. They'll just say, oh, this is Dr. Jane Lansky. She is an expert in microbiology. And this person has to pretend like she's an expert in microbiology when she's not. That is very, 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 very alarming to me. And I just feel like that's probably how a lot of these experts are on camera. Unless you go yourself and do a little background on these people, we'll never really know who is the expert and who is not. Unfortunately, this does not stop at podcasting. There's a lot of TikTok strategists and content strategists online that will help you get millions of views within minutes and days of opening up a brand new TikTok account. But then you go on their TikTok accounts and they don't have the views. They don't have the expertise. There is no certificate to back up whatever they're saying. So it's a lot of fakery out there. Unfortunately, this is how misinformation has kind of spread all around TikTok and social media. And it's not going to stop anytime soon unless we start looking into the sources of information and we check the sources of the sources to make sure that everything is kosher. This is another one that grinds my gears to no end, and that is begging for money online as content. Imagine this. You work a 9 to 5 that paid pretty well. And then you start making content around said job. The video gets lots of views and the engagement is up and you're getting so much attention, millions upon millions of views a day. And because of that attention, you decide to quit your job. Next thing you know, you're begging for money on TikTok Live. And that is what happened with this content creator named Hub's Life. It also happened to the likes of Jeffree Star. You know, the OG makeup guru. He is now begging for money on TikTok. Begging for money is not just coming from influencers. Lots of real, normal people do this too every day.
Because I've been on here for 25, 30 minutes now. I've been saying the same thing on how much I need and ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm really getting tired though, no shade. I really am.
We need, if I could get 800, then I could finagle the rest.
And I want to make it clear that I'm not judging people for asking for money at all. We are in a weird financial space right now where everybody and nobody has money at all. So you have to kind of do what you have to do, but it becomes to a point where you're kind of just exploiting yourself and your audience to get money from them. And the worst part about this whole thing is that people actually pay to see this stuff. People will actually give their hard-earned money to people like Jeffree Star, who probably does not really need it at this point, and people like Hub's Life, who made a terrible decision to go on and quit his good job. For what? For people online. Then people will also donate money to people that may not even be telling the truth about their financial statuses. There are so many scammers online, and for people to just be giving their hard-earned money like this is so sad. If you saw somebody begging for money on the street in real life, chances are you're going to ignore them. Why can't we ignore digital beggars too? This next one is a big one, and I've done this myself, so there's really no judgment here, and that is divulging personal information on the internet. We overshare online these days in ways that are just so weird. What I've noticed lately in this trend of oversharing is wives will go online and post about something weird and silly that their husband did.
I haven't spoken to my husband in 2 weeks, and we still live in the same house and sleep in the same bed. He followed me upstairs and he said, "Do you want me to leave you alone?" And I said, "Yeah, leave me alone because I'm not feeling well." And this man said, "You told your husband to leave you alone? You should never tell your husband."
And the internet being the internet it is, it'll go into automatically say, leave him. He's abusive. He's not good enough for you. He's this, he's that. And later, the wife comes back and makes another video defending her husband. And that whole entire situation turns into think piece after think piece after think piece. I feel like this all could have been avoided had the wife not even post anything about her husband in the first place and kept that marriage tight and compact. Posting anything personal online, especially your marriage, invites a lot of judgment. And this is all about like a 1 to 2 minute video. And it's not just marriage. People post about their family drama, their health issues, their trauma, and their worst moments that they've had, all for the internet to see. And a lot of this is called being real and keeping it real and being relatable, but it's just too much information. I know a thing or two about posting personal information online. That's why I'm saying this. Yeah, there is no need to post so much information about yourself online for the internet to see. I'm not saying don't tell your story. For sure, tell your story as best as you can, but there isn't need to get so detailed about said story. Answer me this: would you walk up to strangers and just start posting your personal life about yourself to them? I don't think so. So why are we doing it online? The next one is hate watching and Reddit snark culture. If you find this video interesting at all, please subscribe and like and share. If you're watching a TV show or reading a book and you start to kind of hate it, what do? You either turn off the TV or you throw the book across the room and never pick it up again. For some reason, this logic does not work online. People will sit there and watch creators and consume content they hate. And then they'll follow celebrities that they don't really like and say that they wish they would just disappear from the internet and never be seen again. But instead of scrolling past all that, they just go to Reddit snark pages and start talking trash about them. Some people even take it a step further and make videos about people that they dislike. Do I do it in my personal life? Am I about to send a message to my friends about a celebrity that annoyed me recently? Sure, we all do that. But I don't go on snark pages, and I certainly don't make videos about them. A perfect example of this is Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. A lot of people on the internet will claim that they hate her and they talk a lot about her. Yet some of the most viewed videos on YouTube are dedicated to criticizing her every move. That is not hate. You are an obsessive fan. And for thousands upon thousands of people to make videos about you, talk about you on snark pages, and to just live in a day-to-day life where they're just hating you or pretending to, that would break people and that would hurt people. So if you hate somebody, turn off filters about them. Don't talk about them. Live your life. Things will be so much better. This next one is actually quite sensitive, so I'm gonna go through it really quickly, but there are tons of videos online where you can find more about this subject. And that is filming and monetizing children. I believe a lot of parents online have normalized putting their children online way too much. You have vlog moms, you have family channels. Children cannot consent. They don't know what is happening when you put a camera to their face. But a lot of these kids are not growing up privately, but their parents are making tons of money off of them. So I don't know why we feel like it is okay to not only consume content that has children in it, but also post our children online. Fortunately, in order to make this a little right, California did pass a law called the Coogan Law.
Governor Newsom teamed up with singer and former child star Demi Lovato to sign a new law protecting the earth. Well, under the new labor law, child content creators on all platforms will now get a trust fund for their earnings that they can access when they turn 18. Now, the law builds on the Jackie Coogan Law, which is named after one of the first child stars in American film. Coogan ending up suing his parents for stealing his earnings.
So that means that if a parent earns about $20,000 from a video where a child is featured about 30% of the time, they will have to put aside about $6,500 into the trust. But of course, a lot of parents have actually moved from the state of California to avoid having to do this. Fortunately, some parents even have gotten into heavy legal trouble over this too.
The once popular.
I told the kids, I said, I'm not even gonna let you eat breakfast
until you get your chores done.
And sometimes controversial parenting influencer was sentenced Tuesday to up to 30 years in prison after pleading guilty to 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
He's obviously covered in wounds.
A lot of these children that are being filmed online right now on TikTok and things like that can't really verbalize what they're experiencing just yet, but I bet you in about 10 to 15 years, a documentary on Netflix will come out called My Mom Ruined My Life for Content, and I will be here to watch. If you don't show home videos to strangers on the streets, you probably should not be exposing your children to millions of people on the internet. This next one connects directly to hate watching, and that is dogpiling on creators just for existing. One thing about the internet, it loves mass punishment. Recently, a woman went on TikTok and shared a story about how her and her family were emotionally and financially manipulated out of $500,000 from a Danish man. This story was vulnerable, it was open, it was honest, and it was quite sad to hear about. As I was listening to that story, I felt really, really bad for this young woman. And I thought other people were on the same boat as me, but it turned out they did not have any empathy for this lady. Instead, the internet went in on her and dogpiled on her like crazy. They victim blamed her. They gave her terrible advice. They called her all kinds of names.
And she liked the idea of him and this white man being together. She knew he was funny style. She didn't mind as long as he was on her arm.
We ask people to be real on TikTok every day, but then when they are, we punish them for it. Another good example is a creator who shares her experiences in her relationships to the internet. She's giving like real-time relationship advice and real-time updates about her boyfriend and things like that. But for some reason, people don't like it and people find it cringe and people find it weird. But again, instead of not watching, they're engaging with this story and they're twisting her relationship into something that it's not. And again, this lady is real. The lady wants to be real. And people are just dogpiling on her, constantly insulting her and just talking shit.
There are 21 episodes now on how Danielle Walter and her new boyfriend became boyfriend and girlfriend. Not how they got married, not how they got proposed to. Even any of that would be like way excessive, but how they decided to become a couple. And it is odd. It is very much like she is talking to herself and leading him through the conversations. Like, and then you talked about how my dad hugged you, right?
And I feel like the internet has just no empathy anymore. I feel like people just don't care anymore and they're just so negative. Every little thing has to be negative. We do not treat people like this in real life. We don't allow people to be dogpiled on in real life. Why do we do it online? And the last thing is, I've noticed that we love to pretend is normal online. It's just thinking that this is all online and it doesn't harm people in real life. And that is false. I myself have thought about this too. I myself have thought, oh, that's just an internet thing. I don't think it's actually real. I don't think anybody is actually impacted by this. But just because it doesn't affect you as a person doesn't mean it's not affecting people that are getting affected, that are behind these kinds of content. It affects the people that are being diagnosed behind the screen. It affects the children that are growing up in front of the camera. It affects the people that are being dogpiled on daily. So this stuff, once the internet is off and people go back into their real life, they probably feel really, really terrible. This affects people's mental health, careers, and families and real lives. People have lost jobs over this. People have lost homes over this. People have literally lost their own lives over this. Please, please, I beg of you all, just be kinder to people online. Be kinder in the comments. Have a little bit more empathy. Let's bring back kindness on the internet starting right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe below.